We're joined today by Larry Swedroe, CBS MoneyWatch blogger and the author of the book, The Quest for Alpha. Larry, thanks for being here.
Great.
Now, one of the chapters in your book talks about a study about pension fund managers who are well-advised, intelligent, well-remunerated investment advisors, and yet they don't beat the market. What's the story there?
Well, here's what the evidence from two major studies on a total of about 5,000 plans found. Two independent studies, long time periods, looked at the evidence and found this. Just as you would expect, the pension plans hired managers with big alphas. I think if I remember correctly, in the 3 years prior to hiring, the alphas were 3%. Now that's huge.
These were funds that had beaten their market.
Beaten their benchmark by 3% a year. And so they hired great managers. All right? So you can't say they made bad decisions and hired bad managers. And I know the people on these boards. I've met with many of them. I've sat on the boards of public companies. I've sat on investment policy committees. I've consulted with many plans. People on these boards take their job seriously. They perform good due diligence, etc., just as you would expect. And yet the evidence is, after the fact, the pension plans, the managers that were hired, did not add any alpha. In fact, after transitions costs, the alphas would be negative. And here's what's even more compelling to me. What I do, and when I talk to a pension plan who is doing this active management, I say to them, look, you obviously believe that past performance was a predictor. You hired, say, 10 managers, one for each asset class, and then 3 years later you review their performance, and you find that you have to fire 5 or 6 of them, and you repeat the process. So I say, obviously you made a mistake or you wouldn't be firing managers. What are you doing differently in the process this time so you won't repeat the same error? And I never once have gotten a single answer. They sit there dumbfounded. So I said to me, you mean to tell me what you're doing is the definition of what Einstein said is insanity, repeating the same behavior over and over again and expecting a different outcome. One study looked at over 4,500 hiring and firing decisions. So they keep repeating the same behavior. They hire managers with big alphas, and then the alphas disappear after the hiring. So to me, the answer is simple. It certainly is possible to outperform the market. 20 years from today, there'll be another Warren Buffett. But I have no way to identify him ahead of time today because I cannot rely on the past performance of an active manager.
So the quest for alpha dies hard, but it
doesn't. It does die hard. Probably will never die fully, but I think the good guys are winning, if you will. On the institutional side, 15 years ago, only about maybe 20% of the money was passive. It's now 40% or so. On the individual side, it may have been 1%. It's up to maybe 15%. There's no army strong enough to stand or withstand a good idea whose time has come.
Larry, thanks very much.
My pleasure.
And thank you for watching.